month or 30 to 60 days, and I guarantee you, will 100% guarantee you, if you follow everything I'm saying, that your arthritis will begin to diminish, and perhaps if you do everything I say, completely be eliminated along with the psoriasis. No drugs required. Your body will do it itself as long as you give it the raw materials, and then you don't give it the stuff it doesn't need. So you want to do this with me? You want to work with me, Bob? Okay, good. So you got a lot of stuff there. Go back to the archives, Ben Fuchs Archives, or brightsideben.com, and review everything I just said, and you and I will work together. Did you send me your phone number, by the way, in your email?
I did, sir.
Okay, so you and I are going to work together, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, God bless you, my friend. Good to talk to you, and hopefully I'll talk to you soon.
God bless you, too. Thank you, sir.
All right, take care. All right, I love my smart listeners. So we're going to make Bob a case study and show you how easy it can be to reverse these simple degenerative health crises. No specialists required. All right, speaking of reversing disease, I'm very excited to bring on my next guest, Bill Aaron. He's written a super, super beautiful book and inspiring. It's beautiful to look at. It's beautiful to read. It's inspiring. New Beginnings, the Triumphs of 120 Cancer Survivors. And Bill knows what he's talking about. He's a cancer survivor himself. We're going to talk about the book and maybe talk about Bill himself. Welcome to the Bright Side, Bill. How you doing, man?
Thank you, Ben. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. So this is just a real work of art. Did you write it as therapy for yourself, or did you write it you wanted to inspire people? What was your motive here?
Well, when I was first diagnosed in 1993, there was almost nothing positive out there. And at that time, the internet wasn't available to me. It was just sort of getting underway. So I would go to a medical library to figure out, what was going on. And it was all, negative cases. And I came away thinking I was going to die. Well,
can I ask you what kind of cancer it was?
Sure. I had early onset prostate cancer, and a very aggressive variety.
How old were you?
I was 51.
And you were in good health? Did you think you were in good health otherwise?
Health.
So this came as just out of the blue.
Yeah, I was quite surprised.
Wow.
That's an interesting story. I belonged to an HMO, and I had heard about the PSA test, which was new, which is one of the a way to find out if the prostate's not healthy. It's not necessarily cancer. And my doctor didn't want to give it to me because he did the other kinds of exams and didn't think there was anything wrong, and I kind of had to fight for it. But be that as it may, it turned out to be this aggressive form of the cancer. But as it turned, I struggled with it, with the disease. I had surgery, which failed, and that meant the cancer had gone systemic. It was somewhere in my body.
Wow. So it already spread and it had metastasized.
It had left the prostate.
Wow.
It hadn't metastasized on an organ yet. And I struggled with it for a number of years. Finally, in 2004, I had chemo, radiation, and 2 years of hormone blockage. And since 2006, when I came off everything, I've been okay.
Oh, nice. But, did they take the prostate out entirely?
Yes.
Okay.
Called radical prostatectomy.
Okay.
And it basically, in 2006, after I had come out of this really dark period, I formulated the concept for a book that I wish had existed when I was diagnosed. And I thought, well, I should do 100 people, because when you have 100 people telling uplifting stories, you can't really ignore it. If you have one or two people, you can say, well, that's an exception. And finally, when I reached 120, my publisher said, well, that's enough.
So you just traveled around the country, or you just made phone calls to all these people? How'd you find these people?
Well, I went to a support group at a group called the Wellness Community in Los Angeles. It's now called the Cancer Support Community. And I talked to the people there. That was my first encounter with the positive results. People in my support group one of them said one day, "Cancer's the best thing that ever happened to me." And I thought, what?
Wow.
What are you talking about, man? This is terrible. And then I began to see there were other, not everybody, of course, but I began to see that there were other people who felt that way to varying degrees. And so I talked to the administrators at the cancer support community, and they gave me a few names to try out my hypothesis with. And I went to the people and I interviewed them, and then after a 2-hour interview, which actually became quite cathartic for both of us, I said, well, how would you express visually how you feel? And then we would work on doing a photograph that did express their feelings. So it was sort of a collaborative effort.
Now, you're a photographer, a writer, or this is just a labor of love?
I am a photographer.
Ah, I see. Okay, good.
I'm probably the only photographer in Los Angeles, probably, that has a PhD in sociology.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a great combination. Actually,
yeah, I think so.
Your book is a blend, actually, of sociology and photography, and it is a gorgeous, gorgeous book, by the way.
Thank you.
So, tell us, like, what was the most, to you, what was the most inspiring or notable story of all the 120 cancer survivors? What had the most impact on you personally?
I think there was one teenager who that she was the first teenager that I photographed, and I was just blown away by her and her friends.
What kind of cancer was it?
It was a very rare cancer. I'd have to look up the name, but she had to be in the hospital.
Hang tight. You can go look up the name of it, and then we got to take a break, and then we'll come back and we'll hear your. I want you to tell us the story, and then I got a couple other questions for you about cancer specifically. Hopefully, that's not it's not going to be too much for you. Thanks so much, Bill. Hang tight. We'll be back after this break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. Don't go away.
There's a man named Dr. Joel Wallach who is anything but your typical doctor, both a veterinarian and naturopathic physician. Doc asks, why does the United States spend more money on healthcare by far and still rank 50th in health and longevity worldwide? He believes that people should empower themselves with a basic understanding of nutrition, take charge of their health, and attain optimal health and longevity through nutrition, not by toxic prescription drugs that lead to side effects and more toxic prescription drugs. Doc Wallach's message is resonating with an increasing number of Americans who are waking up to all the big government, big pharma, and big insurance manipulation of our healthcare system. I'm George Norrie, and I like what Doc Wallach is saying and doing to enlighten people about health care. Visit criticalhealthnews.com and listen to Dr. Wallach's Deadly Recipes lecture. It makes a lot of sense, and I urge you to join our Critical Health News team. Go to criticalhealthnews.com. That's criticalhealthnews.com.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
You know, improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R-value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone
at 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
You know, improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Gemstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R-value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Gemstone.
At 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates. 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
A little right, a little left, but always independent-minded. The Genesis Communications Network, GCN.
Okay, we are back on the bright side talking to Bill Aaron about his book, New Beginnings, The Triumphs of 120 Cancer Survivors. Books available on Amazon, of course, and bookstores everywhere. So, Bill, before we went to break, you were telling me about a teenager. And
it's a really tough question, but Chelsea Kaufman stands out in my mind. First, let me say the book, as I identified 4 stages of cancer. I call it TASK, T-A-S-K. You have the terror of and Chelsea really epitomizes all 4 stages in a really good example. The terror of the diagnosis, the anguish and anxiety of treatment, and the 3rd stage, the silent phase. Another survivor coined this term for me. When you go through treatment, at some point, your treatment ends. And then all the busyness of appointments and treatments and people calling up to find out how you are, everything stops.
That's the silent phase.
You're met with this anomic silence.
Wow.
And even family and friends tend to see the end of treatment as an end. And it's really, for survivors, it's really just the beginning.
Of a new life? Of a new life of having to worry about cancer and think about it all? How's it a beginning? What is it a beginning of?
Well, it's not an end. It's a new beginning. And survivors really need to figure out how they are going to move forward, because a diagnosis of cancer really never leaves your mind. It's really permanently ingrained, and it influences much of what you do, especially for the 5-10 years after treatment's over, if you're lucky enough to be in remission.
It's part of your identity. You're now a cancer survivor.
That's a good way to put it. And Chelsea really epitomizes all 4 stages. The 4th stage is coming to the realization that it's a new normal, which is what we call it.
That's a new beginning. That's the new beginning that you talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you do? What do you do now to prevent a recurrence? Are you doing anything special?
Well, when I have a very good friend. We all have angels in our lives.
Okay, I got that.
They don't have gossamer wings and they don't live in the sky, but they're everyday people, and in our darkest moments, they appear to help us. And this one friend, when I was diagnosed, she went to the health food store and she bought every book on diet and cancer. Came to me and just deposited them on my doorstep.
Wow.
And when I was recovering from surgery, I went through most of them.
Did you read Patrick Flanagan? Did you read anything by Patrick Flanagan?
I did not see that one.
Okay.
I don't know what that.
So you focus on diet then?
I do. I changed. I went out to Johnny Rockets. I had my last hamburger, and I changed to a macrobiotic diet, which is basically vegan.
How many years ago?
In '93.
So that's 22 years you've been a vegan?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.